Howdy there folks, this is Lapidary Dave, and right now I will be working a small piece, here it is, of this Thulite or Thulite, pink Zoisite from Norway. There are different pink Zoisites out there. This particular material only comes from Norway. Ironically enough, there is a pink Zoisite from right here in Taos County. Here is that beautiful material. The person who sold me this material explained it as a little bit more cottage cheesy than the Norwegian material. I really enjoyed that, so I kind of been using that ever since. And he's right, it is a little bit more porous than the Norwegian material, which is a little bit better for jewelry. I have a piece of the Taos County that is very dark. This piece here of pink Zoisite is just a lot darker and reminds me of the darker version of the Norwegian pink Zoisite, Thulite. The Norwegian comes in a few different varieties. This piece here came from the same stone and is a little bit lighter. This stone changes colors, if it's going to, shortly after being cut and polished. I wonder if it's like oxidizing or something. I don't think it's from like human oils or whatnot. So that's a little bit of the variety of the Norwegian. But the Norwegian does also come in a much darker version, much like this piece. This is from Taos. This is not the Norwegian, but it's just an example. There's a company called J. King, and it's like the Home Shopping Network or QVC's, like one of their companies, and they carve Thulite from Norway, and they have a lot more of the red Norwegian material. Anyway, I love the medicine of this stuff. It cuts fairly easy. It can be a little bit more difficult than like Lapidary or quartz. Even though it is a little bit softer than quartz, it's much harder than fluorite, lapidolite, and calcite. But definitely much softer than jade, quartz, and jasper. I slab this roughly out on a slab saw. I didn't use the auto feed, of course. This side I did use the auto feed. A little bit more presentable on this side. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I enjoy it being so large. The piece that I'm going to work today is this little Thulite mountain. Has this beautiful piece of brown here. That's really cool. I will be working the bottom and leaving the rest rough. This piece is going to go to a person on the group All About the Rocks on Facebook. He is a crystal medicine person, and yeah, it's my pleasure to send him a piece of this medicine that he's going to use personally. This piece is a little rough, as you can see here. I just hogged it out on the saw, so I'm going to take it to the flat lap. I'm going to get rid of all of these saw marks, and I'm going to replace them with scratches from my flat lap. First I'm going to use an 80 grit, and then I'm going to use a 180 grit. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's not too exciting. And I'll see you folks after the flat lapping. I will show you guys the flat laps, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it off camera. See you soon. Alright folks, this is the shape and finish of the stone dry after I took this stone to the 80 grit and 180 grit flat lap. I did just a little bit of doming on the 80 before I went to the 180, and then I did just a little bit more on that 180. Wet, it already looks a lot darker than when I started. A lot more of like a magenta. Beautiful, beautiful stone. And those two laps right here, I'm just using a high-tech 6-inch all you need flat lap. I have a video of that on my YouTube channel. I'll be making better ones soon. Yeah. Yep. Just did a little bit of work like that. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this stone to the 280, 600, 12, and 3000 before I jump over to the mop here. I believe that's like a cotton buff. I don't have to go to the 280. I could go straight to 600, but just to be safe, I'm going to go ahead and take it slow. All right. Again, this stone is a little bit harder than the Lapidary that I'm usually carving. It's harder than Tiger's Eye and Labradorite. It's softer than quartz and nephrite jade. Sometimes, in perhaps lower qualities, you can have these fissures here. I'm not worried about those. I'm worried about the scratches. But it is nice not to have that. I got to pick this material from a giant band, and I wasn't being picky because it was a gift. So I just grabbed the first piece on top, but perhaps I should have looked for a darker red piece, or at least a piece that didn't have fractures. Anyway, 280 grit. I like this stone just fine, and the person who's going to use this for their medicine is going to like this stone just fine. It's a very Alright folks, that was my 280 grit. I am very happy that I went to the 280 before going straight to the 600. The top of the stone is the stone dry. Fantastic. All the facets are pretty much gone. And here's the stone wet, perhaps what it'll look like more or less when it's finished, or if I burnished it right now. This stone is pretty affordable. I've seen it being sold by some Norwegian folks who vend near me at the Tucson G&MS Mineral Show every year. They were selling this for $40 a kilo. And that's really affordable, in my opinion. Yeah. I didn't see any of the dark red amongst that $40 a kilo. And the price only goes down from there if you buy more than just 1 kilo. But I imagine since that price was the price from the Norwegian folks who go out and mine it, who live in that country, it's probably marked at a very competitive price. Also, I didn't see this material being sold by anyone else in the entire Tucson Gem and Mineral Show. I love that brown right there. Fantastic. It is a little curved, a little bit more curved than I set out to make it. It might be a little bit of a rocker, but it does stay still. You know, it does. It's a beautiful mountain nonetheless. It's going to be a beautiful medicine piece for this person, I believe, Alexi or Alexis. Anyway, the browns are actually coming through into the pink there. It's fantastic. I don't know if this camera is getting it. But anyway, on to the 600 grit. Alright folks, that's 600 grit. That's 600 wet. Beautiful stone, just getting more and more beautiful as we go along. Onto the 1200 grit. Alright folks, here's that beautiful piece of Thulite or Thulite dry. Already has a fantastic sheen. I'm not 100% sure what makes up this pink zoisite. There are some bandings of what looks like agate or quartz or something. There's also that same situation going on with the Taos County variety of pink zoisite. Also, that brown spot there might be a clue onto why this is so heavy and why this is so shiny at only 1200 grit. Either way, on to 3000. This is the quickest or the least laborsome wheel. And after that, I will be hitting this with a mop. Beautiful material. Highly, highly recommended for beginner lapidaries. This material isn't flooded in the market. It has a few different varieties for pink lovers. And the medicine is just absolutely fantastic. I really appreciate this stuff. Alright folks, this is my 3000 grit polish. Looking absolutely amazing. Believe it or not, it gets better than this. It's a little difficult for me to show you and explain the rough sides because it stays wet a lot longer than the polished surface. So I think I'm going to do that after I hit this with the mop. I've been showing people the way I've been licking this, the stones with the mop. So yeah, I'm going to do that here right now. Beautiful finish though, even at 3000. Alright folks, I'm here at the mop. This is absolutely fantastic. In this short amount of time that that it took me to cut this stone and get this mop ready, it's already gotten a lot darker. This material is absolutely fantastic, one of my favorites. I wonder what the future has in store for this material. Anyway, the reason why I sound like Darth Vader is because I'm wearing my respirator. It almost matches the stone. Because I'm going to be using this compound. This compound's pretty gnarly. Alright folks, that's that. Even more tremendous than it was before I hit it with the mop. I'm going to go ahead and take this bad girl inside and show her off and chat a little bit more about this material. Perhaps show the pendant that I carved out of this. This stone is just absolutely fantastic. What a pleasure. See you folks in there. Alright folks, I'm back inside. The other sides that were not polished are now dry, so you get to see what they look like in the rough. Just standing there. And this is the polished side. Absolutely fantastic. Way darker. What looked a lot more like this about 25 minutes ago now looks like this. I really enjoy this material. This pendant here I carved a day or two ago. I made this when I made the original video for Thulite or Thulite that I was going to make, but somehow I lost it, so I'm making this video. But when I carved this stone, it looked a lot more like this. So it kind of like changed a little bit. That's fantastic. Really enjoy that. Alright. Again, here is the Taos County variety of Thulite or Thulite. Yeah, not as suited for jewelry in low qualities like the Thulite or Thulite is, but this is not a Thulite or Thulite. This is a pink Zoisite from Taos County. Anyway, okay. Thank you, folks, so much. I hope you enjoyed. Check out more about this material. It is the national stone of Norway. The Norwegian stone. Thulite. Or maybe it's Thulite. Anyway, love you folks. See you next time.